The pain you're feeling right now could be what's preparing you for the best version of yourself. It's not destroying you, it's shaping you. Are you ready to turn this suffering into strength? Life is full of choices, but one thing is certain. We all face pain at some point, whether it's emotional, physical, or existential. Pain seems to be a constant for everyone, without exception. But what if I told you that instead of defeating you, it could be the key to the transformation you've been searching for? Too often we get stuck in the idea that pain is a burden we must endure. What if instead, it were the training needed to shape us into the best version of ourselves? The paradox of pain is simple. It can be our greatest enemy or our greatest ally, depending on how we choose to face it. And it's this choice that changes everything. In this video, we'll explore how pain can be the driving force that propels us into action, the fuel for change, and the guide that leads us to our true potential. We'll look at pain from a completely new perspective, as an opportunity in disguise. With real stories, profound lessons, and a mindset shift, you'll see that pain, no matter how intense, can be transformed into a powerful tool for growth and overcoming obstacles. Ready to take the leap? Let's dive into this transformation journey together. You know that feeling when pain seems like an unyielding enemy, something you want to avoid at all costs. Often, we resist it, trying to escape discomfort by any means. However, by doing this, we're only prolonging the suffering. It's like trying to hold a hot coal. The tendency is to grip it, thinking we can control it, but the tighter we hold, the more pain we feel. In the end, the only solution is to let go. Pain isn't something to avoid, but to accept. When we accept it, we stop fighting it and its intensity decreases. Instead of wasting energy trying to escape, we can use it to grow. In life, we often face moments of great suffering, loss, rejection, or frustration. But what if I told you these moments are our opportunity to grow? The Stoics believed that pain is an essential part of training the mind and soul. They saw pain not as an enemy, but as an ally, because it strengthens us in ways comfort never could. Accepting pain is, in fact, the first step towards transformation. When we stop resisting, we begin to understand that it is part of our journey, preparing us for what's ahead. In difficult moments, as impossible as it may seem, it's important to remember that this pain won't last forever. It is a transient phase, a preparation for something greater. And more importantly, we don't have to face pain alone. It connects us to others because every human being has experienced the weight of suffering. Maybe the question we should ask ourselves is, what can this pain teach me? This simple reflection can completely change how we deal with it. And who knows, by the end of it all, we may discover that this pain was the necessary training for the victory that lies ahead. When we face a moment of pain, it's easy to feel lost, directionless. Suffering can blind us to what truly matters, and soon we find ourselves consumed by it. However, behind every challenge lies a lesson waiting to be discovered. A practical example, think of a failure you've experienced, maybe a project that didn't work out, a goal that wasn't achieved. At the time, it seemed like a hard blow, but looking back, you might realize that failure revealed something important, a strength, a skill, or a new perspective that you didn't have before. It was in that painful moment that you discovered something deep about yourself. The Stoics said that pain is like coal under pressure, which turns into a diamond. Pain has the power to reveal our best, even when we're at rock bottom. If we stop and reflect, we'll see that every hardship has something to teach us. The key is the mindset with which we approach it. When we face pain with the question, "What is this trying to teach me?" we start to find answers. Sometimes these lessons may be small, but it's these small discoveries that shape our lives in a powerful way. For example, instead of lamenting a loss, you may realize it brought the opportunity to change the course of your life in a way you never imagined. If you can look at moments of pain as opportunities for learning, life becomes a series of lessons preparing you for what's to come. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can this teach me?" This shift in perspective can open doors to new understandings of yourself and life. And when you learn to find the lesson within pain, you'll see that difficulties stop being obstacles and become stepping stones for growth. When life presents challenges, it can be hard to find the motivation to move forward. Pain often paralyzes us, making us question whether it's worth continuing. However, hidden behind that pain is a powerful energy, ready to be turned into action. Instead of succumbing to discouragement, we can choose to use this pain as fuel for change. A perfect story of overcoming this is of people who, after a significant loss, found the strength to change direction. They may have lost their job or gone through a breakup, but instead of sinking into suffering, they used that moment to propel themselves towards something even greater. It's like the arrow that only moves forward after being pulled back. Pain can make us feel like we're being pushed back, but in reality, we're being prepared to take the leap. The key lies in how we respond. We can allow the pain to trap us, or we can choose to use it to propel us forward. A practical way to do this is by identifying a goal you want to achieve and using every moment of frustration as a reminder to take a step toward that goal. For example, if the pain comes from a work failure, instead of sinking into sadness, use that failure as fuel to study more, improve your skills, and prepare for a new opportunity. Turning pain into action is a powerful way to change our narrative. Every time you feel pain, ask yourself, how can I use this to move forward? This simple reframing changes the way you view suffering. Instead of seeing it as an obstacle, you begin to see it as an opportunity to grow, learn, and become stronger. When you start using pain as motivation, you'll see that it stops being a burden and turns into a source of power. When we're in the midst of a painful situation, it's hard to see anything beyond the immediate suffering. But what happens when we decide to change our perspective? What if, instead of seeing pain as an enemy, we began to see it as an ally that's shaping us for something better? Pain often teaches us more than any easy victory ever could. It forces us to dig deep within ourselves, to question our beliefs, and to rethink our direction. It's like the extreme cold that strengthens a tree, forcing it to grow deep roots in order to survive. Without the cold, the tree wouldn't have the same resilience to face what lies ahead. This exercise of changing the way we view pain can transform our experience. Instead of lamenting the difficulty, we can look at it and say, "This is making me stronger." Instead of asking the pain to go away, we can thank it for the growth it's bringing us. A powerful mental exercise is, whenever you face difficulty, to pause and reflect on what this experience is teaching you. It may be an opportunity to develop patience, resilience, or empathy. When we do this, we're actually training our minds to not only withstand pain, but to use it as a tool for growth. Always remember that this shift in perspective isn't easy and requires practice. But every time you manage to see pain as an ally, it loses its power to dominate your life. Instead of being a burden, pain becomes a stepping stone to something greater. As a result, you not only become stronger, but also more prepared to face future adversities. Remember, pain isn't the end. It's just a part of the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Life isn't made up of just moments of pleasure and success. If it were, we might not grow as much as we need to. True strength comes from facing discomfort and learning how to handle it effectively. Discomfort is often what prepares us for the greater pain that may come. Habits like cold baths, waking up early, and even practicing voluntary fasting are ways we condition ourselves to challenging situations. Stoicism teaches that it's important to deliberately put ourselves in uncomfortable situations so that we can strengthen our mind and body. When we seek discomfort, it's not to punish ourselves, but to transform ourselves. These moments teach us resilience, a vital skill for overcoming any adversity. Instead of fleeing from discomfort, we can choose to face it. For example, an athlete who trains intensely doesn't expect the training to be easy. They know that pain and fatigue are part of the process. Just as they seek discomfort to improve, we can also use daily discomfort as a tool to strengthen ourselves. This doesn't mean seeking suffering in an insane way, but rather stepping out of our comfort zone in a controlled manner so that we can grow. Think of, for example, starting a challenging project or learning a new skill. It will require discomfort, but that's exactly what helps us evolve. When we start to see discomfort as an ally, we begin to realize that it's an essential ingredient for our growth. By going through challenging situations, we're forging our resilience, a trait that will help us face any difficulty in the future. If discomfort is a constant in our lives, then instead of seeing it as something negative, we can thank it for making us stronger and better prepared for what's ahead. When we go through painful situations, we often ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? Suffering can make us feel isolated and alone, but there's a hidden power in sharing our pain with others. Scars, as painful as they may be, can become guides for those who are lost. By sharing our painful experiences, we can offer support and wisdom to others, helping them avoid the same mistakes or find a way out of their own struggles. This doesn't mean we should live our lives carrying the weight of our pain, but rather use it to light the path for others who are still struggling. Think, for example, of someone who went through a great loss and now uses that experience to help others in similar situations. This process not only helps those receiving the support, but also provides a sense of purpose and healing for the one sharing it. By telling our story, we offer others the chance to see that pain isn't the end, but an opportunity for something new. What seemed like a weakness becomes a source of strength, not just for us, but for everyone around us. When we use our pain to help others, we become more connected with the world around us. The suffering we've experienced isn't something isolated, but a shared experience for all. Sometimes the most effective way to overcome pain is to turn it into something that helps others. Scars are reminders that we are human, but they are also proof that we've overcome adversity. By using our pain to inspire others, we turn a negative experience into something positive, creating a cycle of collective healing and growth. Now that you've seen how pain can be a powerful ally in your transformation journey, what will you do with this? The next time you face a tough moment, instead of focusing on the suffering, ask yourself, how can I use this to grow? The power to choose what pain makes of you is in your hands. It doesn't have to be a burden anymore. It can be the fuel for your change, the strength you need to move forward. What's at stake here is your ability to transform adversity into something greater. Now imagine what it would be like if you could turn every pain into a springboard for the next phase of your life. Start today, not tomorrow. Apply what you've learned, share your experiences, help others with your journey, and watch how your pain turns into power. If you've been inspired by this video and want to keep learning how to deal with life's challenges more deeply, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We're just getting started on this journey together.